Do you want to be a millionaire? I sure do. Well, you're in luck. Here are 5 strange ways to become a millionaire, and be sure to stay until the end to answer the question. Number 5. Lost treasure. The estimated total worth of buried treasure, or treasure lost at sea, is estimated to be at 4.5 billion. 3 of the most valuable are 63 million, which is hidden in Bedford County, Virginia, 200 million, which is off the coast of Key West, and the San Miguel ship that is carrying 2 billion worth of treasure, which is at the bottom of the sea close to Cuba. The 63 million in Virginia is believed to be traced back to a man called Thomas Beale. In 1816, while mining somewhere in the Rocky Mountain, he and a few miners came across a large sum of gold and silver. Thomas and the men had kept some of the treasure and then buried the rest. In order to make sure that their next of kin would receive the treasure, Thomas wrote 3 ciphers. One described the exact location of the treasure, the second described what the treasure was, and the third was a list of the men's names and their next of kin. Thomas then put the ciphers in a safekeeping box and gave it to an innkeeper and told him to open it in 10 years. The innkeeper has tried to decode the ciphers, but has only managed to decode the second one. So if any of you are able to decode the first cipher, then the treasure is yours. The 200 million off the coast of Key West is traced back to 1622. A Spanish ship was sailing back to Spain from Cuba when it was caught in a hurricane just off the coast of Key West. The ship was being followed by a fleet of smaller ships which also had treasure on board. All of the ships were damaged and became shipwrecked and sank to the bottom of the ocean. They were carrying a cargo of gems, gold and silver at a total worth of 700 million. In 1985, treasure hunter Mel Fisher found 500 million worth of the treasure at the bottom of the ocean, just 160 kilometers off the coast of Key West. Experts believe that according to documentation, there is still 200 million worth of loot left, consisting of 17 tons of silver bars, 128,000 coins, 27 kilos of emeralds, and 35 boxes of gold. The 2 billion worth of treasure can be traced back to 1715. A fleet of 11 Spanish ships had treasure of silver, gold, and pearls, estimated to be worth 2 billion. They had stopped off at Cuba and were ready to leave. As they set sail, they got caught in a hurricane. All of the ships were badly damaged and became shipwrecked. Thousands of sailors died, and all of the treasure had fallen to the bottom of the ocean. Since then, 7 of the ships have been recovered, but hardly any treasure has. Experts believe that a ship that has not yet been recovered, called the San Miguel, holds the most treasure. So if you're up for an aquatic adventure, then get your diving gear ready because you could become a millionaire. Number 4. Prove the Riemann hypothesis. Okay, this one's a complicated one, but if you're smart enough and up for a challenge, then you can become a millionaire. In November 2002, a Russian mathematician called Dr. Grigory Perelman did something that no one in history has ever done. He solved an extremely hard mathematical problem known as the Poincare conjecture. It is very complicated and deals with 4-dimensional space. In March 2010, the Clay Mathematics Institute of Cambridge offered Dr. Perelman a $1 million prize, but he declined it. There are 6 other mathematical problems waiting to be solved, which each are rewarded with $1 million, such as the Riemann hypothesis, which is an extremely complicated mathematical problem proposed by Bernhard Riemann in 1859. So if you're a mathematical genius, then give it a go and you could become a millionaire. Number 3. Prove that you're psychic. Otherwise known as the $1 Million Challenge, the James Randi Educational Foundation will pay $1 million to any person who demonstrates any psychic, supernatural, or paranormal ability while under satisfactory observation. Contestants must be at least 18 years of age. The participants must agree in writing to the conditions and criteria of their test. Any challenges that might cause serious injury or death will not be accepted. There have been several contestants in the challenge, but they have all failed. Some claim to have the ability of dowsing, so the test given was to identify playing cards in a sealed envelope. They failed the test. Another person claimed to have the ability to remote view. So the test given to them was to remotely view 3 of 20 objects. They also failed the test. If you feel you have any special powers or abilities, then sign up for the challenge and you might be rewarded with $1 million. Number 2. Hack Google Chrome. Google are offering $1 million if you are able to find bugs in Google Chrome. Google started a hacking contest known as Ponium. It is offering millions of dollars as a reward for reporting any security bugs that could be exploited in the Google Chrome browser. But it's not just Google Chrome. A participant who can exploit hackable bugs in Windows, Flash, or a device driver will earn $20,000 for each bug. Also, each bug reported that is found in Chrome will earn the person $60,000. They have announced that the rewards will go up to $1 million. To enter the contest, you must be at least 18 years old. So if you're over 18 and are an expert hacker, then enter the competition and you can quickly become a millionaire. Number 1. Find Victor Manuel Guerrero. As of June 2015, Victor is the most wanted fugitive in America. He is wanted in the connection with armed robbery of $7 million from a security company in West Hartford, Connecticut. In 1983, he allegedly took 2 security employees hostage at gunpoint, handcuffed them, and then injected them with an unknown substance to subdue them. He has been on the FBI Most Wanted list for 31 years. The FBI has offered a $1 million reward for any information leading to his capture. He is believed to be hiding in Cuba. So if you're up for an action-packed and dangerous adventure, then travel to Cuba and try to capture him and you will become a millionaire. Or you'll just end up getting shot to death. Question time. If you had a large sum of money given to you tomorrow, such as 200 million, what would be the first thing that you'd buy? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. And also, don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our videos. Goodbye.